17. Notice has been duly posted. Roll call.
Mayor Joe Chilson.
Here.
Jim Benash.
Here.
Jared Holter.
Here.
Jan Brock.
Visit.
Paul Gleason excused. Knut Timpty.
Present.
Craig Breitsprecher.
Present.
Stephen Knott excused.
Okay. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move. Second.
Motion made by Jim Benash, seconded by Craig Breitsprecher to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved. Katie, can you turn me down just a little bit, please? Public input. Anyone wishing to give public input to the commission, please come to the dais, or the podium, I should say, not the dais. Come to the podium, state your name, address, and you are limited to 3 minutes. Second call. Anyone wishing to give public input? Third and final call. Anyone wishing to give public input? We'll move on with the printed agenda. Consideration possible action on the following items. A public hearing for consideration of a conditional use permit application to allow construction on a parking lot as the principal use located at 1020 2nd Avenue Southwest, Onalaska, Wisconsin 54650, submitted by Mark Schneider of Schneider Real Estate Investments of Winona, 1025 2nd Avenue Southwest, Onalaska, Wisconsin 54650, tax parcel number 18-938-3. Okay, Katie, you want to tell us first, or before we go into the public hearing?
Yep. So the purpose of this request is to allow the construction of a parking lot prior to the construction of a building at 1020 2nd Avenue Southwest. The property owner drafted a letter in reference to this for their reasoning to assist in clearing the streets and allowing for customers to park within the existing parking lots as there are parking issues on 2nd Avenue Southwest. The installation of the parking lot may occur in phases, and eventually the building would be there. When the building would be constructed, the conditional use permit would no longer be necessary because the principal structure would be the principal use on the site. So this is more so a stopgap to allow the initial phase of development to occur, which is the parking lot. City staff looked at compatibility. The site is located on the west side of 2nd Avenue Southwest, south of the existing Evenson and Company building, east of a marshland, north of the city's stormwater pond, and west of Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Properties within 200 feet are also zoned M2, neighborhood business and community business. Those within 500 feet of the same street include commercial businesses, marshland, and a stormwater pond. The comprehensive plan identifies this area as industrial, which is to serve processing and manufacturing facilities as well as those that have heavy truck traffic. Third, importance of services to the community. As stated previously, parking in this industrial area has been an issue for years, and as this development has the potential to alleviate those issues and also to jumpstart a new structure to go on to that property in the future. Neighborhood protections. If this conditional use permit is approved, city staff would require a site plan review to account for neighborhood protections prior to construction of said parking lot. As there will be a public hearing, city staff have put forth 7 conditions of approval for your consideration this evening.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, I will open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak in favor, please step to the podium. Second call. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Third and final call. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Okay, Katie, are there any letters or emails in favor? Okay. That portion is now closed. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition of the conditional use permit? Second call. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Third and final call. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Okay, Katie, are there any letters or emails for opposition? Okay, that portion is now closed. The public hearing is now closed. What is the wish of the commission?
Make a motion to approve the conditional use permit application for Schneider Heating at 1020 2nd Avenue Southwest, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650, with the 7 conditions. And the site plan is included in the 7 conditions.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Jim Banash, seconded by Craig Breitspecker, that we approve the conditional use permit at 1020 2nd Avenue South on behalf of Schneider Real Estate, with the 7 conditions, one of which being the site plan. Discussion. Yes.
I think that Schneider Heating should be commended for doing this, solving a hazardous problem that really they don't have to spend the money on.
Right. And just for everybody's, if you don't know where this is down by Nutbush, right next door to Nutbush, actually. So, and we all remember when that was a junkyard. Well, yeah. Most of us remember that.
No, that dump, the junkyard was on the other side of the road, the side where they are. We used to be the Onalaska dump.
I don't go back that far, Skip.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you. Okay. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? So moved. And thank you for straightening me out, Skip.
You're
I
welcome.
knew that was a...
I used to haul stuff down to the dump there, so.
I don't even want to know if that was legal or not.
Oh, yes.
La, 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 la. Okay. Item 5, public hearing for consideration of an amendment to the Unified Development Code, UDC, regarding Chapter 3, Special Districts, Part 5, Form-Based Overlay Districts for Onalaska's downtown commercial and residential areas of the Unified Development Code. Katie?
Thank you. So attached is a copy of the code that you saw last month. There is one addition to it in particular. It's under section 13-3-15, the downtown overlay districts generally, the last sentence. The 2 types of downtown overlay districts include downtown residential neighborhoods for single-family and/or 2-family residences, and downtown planned unit development, which is intended for mixed use. So it doesn't just have to be commercial, it can be multifamily or things of that nature. We also amended the map slightly. We took United Methodist Church was originally downtown residential, and we switched that to the downtown PUD, as it is a mixture of uses and they own the entire block. So that's the only other change that staff made to the ordinance at this point. So the purpose of this is to be, again, development friendly to existing units, existing uses, and then provide flexible standards for new development as they come, and give them an opportunity to create unique developments here in Onalaska.
Okay. We'll open, let's see, from 7:10. Are we at 7:10 yet?
7:09.
Okay, we have to wait a minute, or I can open the hearing. No, you can start. Oh, I guess no. Yeah, I guess I can start it. Okay, I will call the public hearing to order. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Thank you. I lost my wording. Thank you. That comes from having too many birthdays. Speaking in favor, please step to the podium. Dennis was just waiting to jump on that, and he said, "Spit it out, Mayor."
Thank you for letting me address the commission. Dennis Aspenson, Traditional Trades, 1735 Pine Ridge Drive, Onalaska. I fully support what the staff is bringing forward and what you guys are going to be looking at tonight. This will help the development of downtown. Any streamlining the staff can do to get the process moving along quicker and more efficiently helps the developer to get the project started on time and reduce the cost. Once it gets, there's indecision on something and it goes back and forth, it gets expensive for the developer and eats up time. So more decisiveness, streamlining, and what they're laying out will help the downtown district. And the downtown district is unique. Infill development is a lot more costly and time-consuming than open land. So I fully support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Second call, anyone wishing to speak in favor? Third and final call, anyone wishing to speak in favor? Katie, any correspondence? Okay. That portion is now closed. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Second call, anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Third and final call, anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Katie, is there any correspondence in opposition? Okay. Then we will close that portion of the public hearing, and we will close the public hearing. What is the wish of the commission? I will make a motion that we accept an amendment to the Unified Developmental Code regarding Chapter 3 Special Districts, Part 5, Form-Based Overlay Districts, for the Onalaska's downtown commercial and residential area of the Unified Development Code.
Second.
A motion made by the chair, seconded by Jim Benash. Discussion?
I cannot support this motion because of Section 13-3-16. Two reasons why 13-3-16, subparagraph A.
A, okay.
There's two reasons. Number one, I don't think that we're smart enough to put these very specific things into law to know what's we're going to need in the future. So that's the first part of it. The second part is I think that we need more flexibility for the Plan Commission on this. In other words, it's fine to have these statements in the law. I'm not against having them there. But I think there should be some sort of a method where someone could come into the Plan Commission for amendments to this, to have things different than what they're saying here in the law if there's something special. Like I mentioned at the subcommittee, suppose somebody came in and said they want to put up a $10 million mansion down here between 4th and 5th. Well, not between 4th and 5th, between 3rd and 4th. 3rd and 4th. And they couldn't put up a $10 million mansion, couldn't fit in these statements that we have here. And if the Plan Commission looked at their plans and everything and it looked like it was good for the city, going to be expanding in that, we should have the authority, the ability to say, okay, we will give you a waiver on these things. So we don't have that right now. And I think the Plan Commission should have that authority. So that's why I cannot vote for this at the way it is now.
Okay. Katie, can they get a CUP in that instance?
So the Plan Commission has the ability to add language to this. For example, you could add a number 4 that would allow for variation to Section 13-3-16A to allow those things to occur. That's something that you can do. You can essentially create the conditional use permit for whatever you like. So this would be the opportunity to do it. I would like to address A2 and A3. A2 is standard for every zoning district that we have. We require a minimum of 20-foot width structure in our R1, R160, and R2 district. And our building height maximum is 35 feet in all of those districts. So this isn't actually creating any new regulation. This is just reinforcing the existing underlying zoning regulations that we have in place today. And then as for the yards, the side and rear side yard is currently 6 feet, and the minimum is 30. And again, that's standard for what we have in all of our residential zoning districts. The only major difference is in 3A, which actually allows additional flexibility that you do not currently have in the other codes. So in the other codes, you need to have a 25-foot setback, period. This actually allows you to go 15 feet. You don't have to go 15 feet. It gives you additional flexibility of those extra 10. And then in the section below it, for porches and stoops, it's saying you can go even further into that setback of another 10 feet. So this is very unique in that no other district has this flexibility. So I would suggest that this particular area is actually allowing more than what you can do in any other zoning district for residences in particular.
Okay. Craig?
Katie, help me understand this. And so what you're saying is, even though we have these guidelines, we can still develop almost a conditional use type situation within this framework. Is that correct?
Right. If you wanted to allow for a conditional use permit, you can do that. You would add a line into the section of the code that would state a conditional use permit may be allowed to offer relief. And then that way they wouldn't have to get a variance and prove hardship, which is very difficult to do. You're building that into it up front. So they wouldn't have to get a variance. They could just apply for a conditional use permit.
Because I understand what you're saying, Skip, but I think with that known, that kind of alleviates that a little. Yeah, I do too, but I don't think it's, I'd like to have something that would make it clearer to people that that route is available. Because right now, I wasn't aware that we had that authority.
Mr. City Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. To be clear, what we're saying is the authority is to create the ordinances, the zoning ordinances. So if there's something particular here you don't like, what Katie is saying is add it to the ordinances. What we're not saying is that in any given project, in any given moment, you have the ability, there's no reason to have zoning ordinances then if there is no guidelines. So I would suggest keeping the guidelines here. So that's the first thing is understanding that if there's something you wish to add now or even later on, we can always come back from communications from the Planning Commission to do rewrites additional like we're doing here and update it down the road if there's something you would like. So the ordinance itself is we're asking for approval to amend it, keeping in mind fixed. You can always amend the ordinances down the road. Second thing is without approving the change, we're back to the original, which none of the downtown, in particular the commercial development that we've been reviewing or mixed-use development could occur. So we do need some kind of updates to allow the conversations that we've had, and Mr. Rasmussen has pointed out that it does allow some flexibility. So without approving this, then we're back to the original overlay, which doesn't have any updates right now. So I think those are the 2 points I wanted to make there.
Okay, thank you. Craig?
Eric, would it destroy the framework that we have here if somewhere we added in here, or is it possible to add a statement that additional flexibility may be granted at the time of review by the Planning Commission?
Again, I think to some degree that defeats a little bit of why we have the zoning and then the overlay in the first place. Again, the residential portion of this is to protect the existing housing infrastructure that's there. It would be possible without some kind of broader guidelines to say buy any house, keep that same smaller lot, build to the corners of its whatever building you want. Well, what if you're the neighbor next door? There's no restrictions, no guarantee of your property that way. So again, there is existing residential zoning for those properties that are zoned R1 and R2.
R1 and R2,
thank you. This would be the overlay. So the overlay to it is providing some additional flexibility, but its main goal is to maintain the existing character of downtown residences. Now, having said that, it's the other option then of the assembling a quarter of an acre to create your own downtown PUD for future development. So in my opinion, although we are saying it's mixed use, if someone's looking at building that large penthouse suites and doing some mixed use in there, you're going to need to acquire more than one lot anyway, get to the quarter acre, and now you're developing and designing your entire area itself. But now you're less likely to impact neighbors because you have more of that area itself. So I agree in terms of maintaining the most flexibility. If it truly becomes problematic in that there becomes a demand for downtown residences that people wish to acquire them, tear them down, and build the mansions, we can always come back and add language either now or at a later date that says, no, if you're going to do strictly single-family homes in the downtown district in an overlay, these are our requirements. Is it acquiring a quarter acre? Is it doing whatever else?
Okay, so we could add item number 4 that would say may use a CUP for additional flexibility.
Let me kind of take that back, because in thinking about that more carefully too, that gets to be a little arbitrary. And when you start going with arbitrary language, I think you start to cross that into discriminatory territory, because you're arbitrarily deciding who can do what, and it may or may not be consistent at all times. And I think that's probably contrary to the language that we're trying to adopt for any ordinance. We're trying to establish some level of consistency. And if we put something like that in there, I think it leaves the door open for a lot of inconsistency. So I may back away from that a little bit, just understanding that we want to keep as much flexibility as possible for our developers to do what they need to do, but by the same token, we've got to start somewhere.
Katie?
I would like to note that if the Plan Commission will not see these review unless the PUD comes forward. So this is administered by our inspection department and by the planning department. So the only time you would see the $10 million mansion, per se, is if they acquired the minimum quarter acre and they decided to do the PUD, then that would come forward to the Plan Commission. Otherwise, this is like the remainder of the R1 zoning district or R2 zoning district, where people come in and say, what's my setback? How much lot coverage can I have? How tall can my building be? And that's things that we do on a routine basis.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
I have more confidence in the ability of the Plan Commission to make good decisions, and I think they should have the authority to make these good decisions. But this locks it out. We're just a rubber stamp in this case, because the law is that way, and that's it. It's like that extra. I want to say outhouse, but that's the right word, utility shed that somebody put in, that we could, instead of changing the law, if we all went out and looked at the yard and everything and said, oh, well, maybe in this one case that can be so. Because we don't set a precedent with every conditional permit that we give. We can make one decision one time and say no on another time. And I think that's why we are here, why we have a Plan Commission, because we're supposed to be doing these things. We're looking what's best for the city. And locking things in, sometimes you're going to lock good things out. That's just the way I feel. But I'm willing to vote for this motion today if you will go on and say yes, in the near future we will add this other fourth paragraph or whatever it is there to give the Plan Commission the authority that I'm looking for.
Okay, Jan, and then Jim, and then I would like Dennis to come up after these two speak. So.
Okay. I agree that we need a lot of flexibility in this because we have no idea what's going on. But I've got two things. A question: the PUD, does that come on an individual basis, or does it go in the ordinance?
No.
Because if it comes on an individual basis, well, as each case would come forward. For instance, here on page 3, it says the amount of common open space, it's in 13.3-18G. The amount of common open space shall be determined by the Plan Commission. Then it says in I, parking ratios may vary. So I worry that, although I like flexibility, that you know, are we going to get in trouble saying this over here, but that over there, and this guy gets a third? I don't know.
But it's in the PUD. They would have to state it in the PUD. They kind of write their own rules that way.
But so they come before this ordinance. It's not on an individual basis.
No.
It is on an individual basis.
It is on an individual basis, but they write, this is what we want to do, and then it gets approved.
But then they
as a
all
whole.
come to us because it says the Plan Commission.
Well, the PUD is different than a run-of-the-mill type thing that this ordinance kind of governs. If there's a special PUD that comes forth, we would see that.
We would see that, okay.
Right. Just your everyday single lot development
You
is going to
just
go
said
through
that.
staff.
Okay.
Well, we went through this too on the subcommittee, and we already have these ordinances regarding the building and the yards. The other question has to do with flexibility. It seemed to me we had plenty of flexibility in here, and we've already talked about planned unit development. We don't want to get too wordy, and I understand what Skip and Craig are saying, but then again, I think everything we need is right here, and we might be talking about things that may never exist down there. So I guess we have to wait and see what does get presented to us, what's going to be for development.
In the PUD.
So I kind of like it the way it is.
Okay, Dennis, would you come up, please? And my question to you is just, does this give you and other developers enough flexibility?
What is being proposed does. Once again, developing infrastructure down there in the infill building, we're going to have to come and ask for, like, the setbacks you were talking about. There's no way we could apply those setbacks that we use for everything else downtown. It doesn't work. The property gets too expensive, and to get that amount of land with that amount of green space and all of those issues, it just doesn't work. From the developer side, we'd like to bring something in and have a sense. We all try to get a sense of what you guys are thinking and work within that, be it from the staff or what we pick up at subcommittee. To be honest with you, I wish the subcommittee would start making direct recommendations to this board. So that would give the developer another few weeks to address your concern, and we could address it at this meeting. Every time we kick the can down the street, expenses go up and up, and architectural changes, that isn't cheap. You can drop 20 grand into one of these in a blink. So the process to get it moving forward would help us, and the flexibility. I understand what Skip is saying, and I'm all for that. The Plan Commission makes the call, but if you're going to make the call, make the call. It was the last Plan Commission. They were trying to send something back to the council without a recommendation. You know, from the development side, we don't need that. That's another 30 days that gets eaten up and delays everything. But as it's laid out, it would help the developer in that downtown district.
Dennis, the things that you see right now seem to be appropriate to you. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, anybody? Oh, Eric, yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you. In an attempt to, I think, clarify and provide some comfort level to the concerns, just reviewing a bit on the specific language as in the proposal. The first paragraph, section 13.3.15, there's one overlay district. It is specifying that there's two types within this overlay district itself. Keeping in mind that when you look at the attached map, all the parcels that are there, either blue or yellow, every parcel generally has something already built on. There's existing either a commercial business or residential business on that lot. That's what we're referring to. Underlying all that is the existing zoning of that property. Is it residential, is it commercial, or what is it already? The overlay provides additional flexibility if the property owner so chooses, keeping that in mind. The first of the two overlay districts is the residential for single-family and/or two-family residences, which we know we do have some in there. And the second, and that description is 13.316. Keeping in mind that for R1, R2, those are our existing standards throughout the city, except that there's some additional flexibility added for downtown-type homes, porches, things that you want to bring out and closer to the fence line there. So under the current proposal here, I could either, if I owned a home downtown, and I wanted to redo it in some nature, I could either stick with the existing R1 or R2, depending on my property zoning, or I can apply the residential portion of this overlay if I wanted to build a porch out closer, or I'd get closer to use the 15 feet setback, for example. If, however, that I had a quarter acre, that's the only requirement that I would need within that downtown district, so more than one parcel usually, I could also then go to 13.3-17, which is the downtown plan unit development. And there, under applicability, it's a planned unit development, or excuse me, a downtown planned unit development may be used as a custom zoning district for any land use or combination of land uses. So if I still want to do my single-family home, still want to do my $10 million mansion, my requirement is I develop a quarter acre, and then do what's as a requirement here, list all of my purposes, including and then considerations for open space, architecture, park, what have you, everything that's listed here. Present that as my downtown PUD to the Plan Commission for review. So again, keeping in mind that while every parcel there is residential or commercial currently, this is only a voluntary application of the overlay if you so desire. And we can do it for residential or commercial, and those projects, especially for a DPUD, will come for the Plan Commission.
Because you still have an underlying zone.
Still have underlying zone. We'll always have the underlying zone what's there. You can utilize that if need be, or you have the option of doing the overlay. A developer for both either a large house or mixed use can use the downtown overlay within those parcels to fit that bill.
Anybody else? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
Just,
Jan.
on 13.3-20, the first paragraph there says that the applicant have a pre-application conference with the planning engineering department. That's a great idea. Do we do that with other things too? That's a super idea. We should make sure that people really know about that. That's good.
Okay. Anybody else? Skip.
I still would put in a word for flexibility, because if you go back and look at the original plotting, the lots were 30-foot wide. They wouldn't work today, would they? We're sort of doing that, we're sort of locking into what we have today rather than what we're going to need in the future. So I think that we need to build in the flexibility so that if it comes up, and I have confidence that the Planning Commission, with support from the Plan Department, their recommendations, will make the right decisions. But I don't think we should be locked out from having this flexibility.
I think on major developments, Skip, I think they'll still come back here, most likely in the form of a PUD, where we will have review capability.
Yeah, I'm not worried about anything beyond the residential part. I mean, as our city planner said, we have two parts here. We have the commercial and we have the residential. And I'm happy with everything that Katie's done in that. In fact, I'm happy with the whole thing. I just unhappy that we don't have the flexibility written in that it's there. Because I don't think we can predict the future well enough to be able to lock it like that. And I think that the Plan Commission can make good decisions, and some of them are going to be tough. I mean, that's what we get these paid bucks for, making these hard decisions.
Okay. Okay, Skip. Anybody else? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. You want to read that back, Joanne, please, because we may not have remembered what it was.
You have a motion to accept the amendment to the Unified Development Code regarding Chapter 3, Special Districts, Part 5, form-based overlay districts for Onalaska's downtown commercial and residential areas of the Unified Development Code.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Jim Benash, seconded by Craig Breitspecker to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstentions? We stand adjourned at 7:35. Thank you, everybody.